We're gonna go over all the steps, the little tiny baby steps that gets a child to reading. It's important to go over these and be reminded of them because you don't want to miss those little steps. And there's a reason we've got like a serious illiteracy problem in the States, is because steps are missing, things are not being taught in school, and there's not enough practice on some steps. So things get missed. Once you miss a step or more than one step, I mean, it's just hard to move forward from there because you don't have the previous step. So everything after that is usually confusing. And once you get that solid foundation, it's easier, but you get enough practice, you get all those little steps, you get a really good foundation, and from there, you can expand more, you'll learn more. All right, so the very, very first step is singing the alphabet. A, B, C, you just sing the alphabet, and they hopefully get all those little letters right. And once they got that really, really well, the next step to see the alphabet and line it up. A, B, oh, that's the B, C, you know what I mean? And they line it up as they're singing. So there's a lot of great videos for that. I have some on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of them out there. So that's really good. So they learn to sing the song, then they match up the letters. And you got to learn the uppercase and the lowercase when I tell them the big letter and the little letter. So once you've got the alphabet, you can sing the alphabet, they know the names, then they learn the sounds to all the letters. And then there's a better sequence, you teach one vowel and the easier consonants that sound like their name. And then you just keep going until they know all the sounds. You just practice. The next step is to blend two letters at the same time. I prefer to start with the vowel and the consonant because the A, like for instance A, you just drag that out as long as you want until it meets the letter. You know what I mean? So it's a lot easier to do blending when you start with vowel, consonant. Then you do consonant, vowel. Then you get those really, really good. And then you do 3-letter words. They gotta get good to where they can just look and go cat instead of going at. If you add in the other stuff too quickly, it can be a little bit, it's just too fast. So the next step, once they've got that really, really well, you just add a consonant at the end, past, right? You just cam. So the point is you have the 3 letters and then you add one at the end, milk, right? So that's the easiest way to start adding consonants, and then you add one in the beginning. Stop, right? Stop. So once they got the consonants down, that's as far as we're gonna go. I mean, that's a really good foundation there. There's all the short vowels, and they can, add in all those consonants and get through it. That's amazing. Then you can start adding in other vowel sounds. You get the very, very basic foundation in there, those 3-letter words, the short vowels, get the consonants in there. That is your foundation for life. From there, I know people who've self-taught themselves the rest of the way once they got that little foundation there. That's just, I can't stress that high enough, how important that, getting that in before you start doing all the other vowel sounds and things like that. So those are your little baby steps, the most important thing you can do when you're teaching a kid.